Have you ever heard of Catholic guilt? I thought so. I consider myself a self-proclaimed expert on the topic because I am both Catholic and Irish on my mother's side. Often when we think of Catholic guilt, I think that's actually the wrong word. You see, guilt is the idea of knowing that we did something we shouldn't have. So think about maybe you told a lie to someone you loved, or maybe you gossiped about somebody, or you didn't, you weren't academically honest on a quiz, and you have that feeling of, I shouldn't have done that. I don't like this. This is not myself. That's guilt. I did something I shouldn't. I did something bad. But when we talk about Catholic guilt, I actually think what we mean, what we should be calling it, is shame. Guilt is the idea or the concept that I did something bad. Shame is I am bad. And so frequently, the message of my deepest identity is tied up in the way that we're told or manipulated or hurt around all of these messages that were given in regards to sin. It's not a matter of, I did something wrong. It's a matter of, you are bad. You are dirty. You are unworthy. You are broken. You are fill in the blank. And the great struggle, the great scourge is that no human being is free from the struggle with shame. We've all got it. Ladies, I think you are targeted by our culture more than anyone because there are so many messages aimed at you of ridiculous, impossible standards of what you should be and who you should become. And if you can't reach it, the message is you are not worthy. You're not good enough. Fellas, I think in some sense, while the ladies have much more burden placed upon them by way of expectations, we have it worse because everything in our culture has not given us the skills and the talents that we need to be able to wrestle with this. Because we're told we've got to be strong and tough. We can't have emotions. We can't be vulnerable. Heaven forbid, little boys are told, you can't cry anymore. The very basis of our culture is one of shame. It's part of being human. The three main messages of shame are this. If someone really knew me, they'd reject me. I'm not worthy of love. And I'm not blank enough. So frequently we're told by our culture that our identity is based off of what we buy, what we accumulate, what we accomplish, what we look like, who we can dominate, how we look, right? Just fill in the blank. Every message of our culture, every message of our consumeristic society manipulates us through shame because we're told that if we just buy, accumulate, accomplish, or achieve, we can earn our belonging, our worthiness, and our deep goodness. It's a lie. And unfortunately, it's a lie that has very often, for a very long time, permeated our Christian culture, our Catholic faith, because all of these toxic messages around sin seem to say to us that if we struggle with sin, we're not good enough, we're fundamentally broken, we're not worthy, and all of the messages that go along with it. It's a lie. Today, we hear about Jesus confronting the devil in the desert, and we're familiar with these three temptations: food, putting God to the test, and the accumulation of all worldly wealth and power. If we look at these temptations through a different lens, if we look at the story of sin that we heard in the first reading through a different lens, we can go deeper in our understanding and our wrestling with God's mercy. Notice what happened as soon as Adam and Eve sinned. being vulnerable, open, being able to be authentically seen by the other. And what's not in the first reading is not only did they make clothes for themselves out of fig leaves, right, but they hid from God. Shame entered the world with sin, and so it tears us apart from one another. It tears us apart from each other, and it tears us apart from God. We no longer are comfortable being our authentic, true selves before each other or God. Vulnerability is a source of terror, not a source of life and joy. And so in the desert, Jesus fasts and prays to confront the ancient serpent, the ancient accuser. That's what Satan means, by the way. The word Satan is Hebrew for the accuser. What does he accuse us of? He accuses us of not being enough, of not being worthy, of not truly being good. That's the fundamental accusation, and he tries his old tricks on Jesus. Oh, if you're really the Son of God, it's not about bread. The first temptation is not really about bread. Oh yeah, Jesus was hungry. Sure. But if you're really God, if your identity is who you say you are, if your authentic self is who you say you are, then you have power. You can manipulate. You can control. You can compensate. The first temptation is about his identity. It's an attack of shame. The second temptation is similar. Can you trust God? Are you worthy of God's love? Are you fundamentally worthy of knowing that God is going to provide for you, care for you? Oh, throw yourself down. Put God to the test. Test God to see if he's really worthy of your trust. Are you worthy of God's love? I think that's the correct, or there's many ways of reading this. I think that's a true and authentic reading of these temptations. And then the final one is the one that is most prevalent in our culture today. I'll give you everything. You can have everything. All the power, all the status, all the wealth, all the possessions, all of the pleasure. I'll give it all to you. Do you notice what the evil one says? It's already mine. I can give it away. At the very heart of our world is this belief that we can earn our worthiness, we can earn our goodness, we can achieve, we can accumulate, we can accomplish, we can jump through hoops, we can earn our deepest truth, our deepest self. We, through accumulation and accomplishment, we can overcome our shame. And yet we all know buyer's remorse. We've all bought that great thing that made us happy for a time, and then that time quickly passes and we're no longer happy. Even the wealthiest in our world know buyer's remorse. Why in the world would people who have more money than they could ever spend keep trying to get more? Because they believe that ancient serpent, that ancient lie, that if I just get a little bit more, then I'll finally fill and cover over my shame, my deepest need for belonging and worthiness. It's not true. None of this is true. Because as St. Paul was saying in that second reading in the 5th chapter of the letter to the Romans, over and over, he's trying to convince us that everything that we wrestle with, all of the brokenness that we have, Christ has already accomplished our healing remedy. He has already overcome. That just as through one, all of this sin and shame and brokenness has entered the world, so through another, its solution, its remedy, its healing, its salvation has also entered the world. We have been given what we need to be made whole. The really frustrating thing is, it hasn't been given to us the way that we would like it to be given to us, right? It hasn't been given fast enough. We want it faster. It would be so much easier if we were just perfect now, right? Don't you think? Golly, Jesus, just take away all this mess. Just fix me. I don't want to be broken. I don't want to be ashamed. I don't want to be hurting. I don't want to feel so insecure. I don't want to be a sinner. I don't want to keep trying to change and keep falling again. But at the heart of our struggle with sin is not a love of evil. I'm a really accomplished sinner. And two, I hear confessions for a living. I've never had somebody say to me, oh, I just love evil. I love deviancy. I just love hurting myself. I love hurting God. I love hurting other people. No, nobody does that. Even the most competent sinners don't do that. What is sin? Sin is that familiar effort to cover over our shame, to soothe our struggle with shame, to try to earn our belonging, earn our worthiness, heal our broken hearts. This is what shame really is. And St. Paul is begging us to understand Christ has given us the grace. Can we just relax? Take a deep breath. Put a smile on your face. Rejoice. He has overcome. Yes, the grace we long for is being given slowly. The growth and the perfection, not the perfection, the growth and the holiness and the good things that we long for, we don't have it yet, but it's coming. It's going on God's timeline, not ours. Have you ever heard me say, I don't care who you are, what you did, what happened on Friday night? Have you ever heard me say this? Why? Because I'm trying to tear down the messages of shame. Because your worthiness, your belonging, your right place here in our midst, being loved by us, being accepted by us, being welcomed by us, being loved by Jesus, and having access to the incredible graces of this sacrament and the graces of the church are not based on your earning worthiness. You've already got it. You're already wanted. You're already welcomed. You're already loved. I know life isn't perfect. That's okay. In conclusion, all this mess entered the world, said St. Paul, through one person, and through one person came mercy and healing, and the gift of eternal life for you.